every hive to produce honey every year. And I did do that, and I ended up with a 10-year average of 127 pounds per colony. And that included every colony, not just the best ones.
I got something I want to say, but I really don't know how to do it. I would like to build on what my partner right here next to me said. I used to be a school teacher, and I taught in corrections in Red Wing for a few years when they had a lot of juveniles there. And I've seen how people respond to education or don't respond. The bees have given me the broadest education I've ever could have in life. The one goal I wanted in life was to be independent and to do something I loved. Well, I've been in factories, I've been on the farm, I've been in, like I say, education, and I could not get along too well with teachers that taught evolution, because there's so much in a bee world that fights that. So maybe there's a whole lot of you who are doing that right here, and that's why I don't know where to go. But I don't know how you can look at a bee and what's happening to them and stand on that principle very well.
Well, thank you very much for our Graybee panel. I enjoyed it. It was like listening to my Auntie A and my grandfather, just listening to the old stories and all that. So thank you very much. Remember to stick up here. We're going to take pictures. Then also too for everybody, we've got food and drinks for kind of a socializing afterwards. James, please.
Being a math person, I took all their start dates. And I want to tell you, there's 241 years of experience sitting up there.
241 years of experience.
Yeah, there's Denny's 200 years, and then there's...
Stay. Let's pictures here. All right, come on, guys, go ahead and grab some food. Drinks.
Pretty good to me. Plus, you send it back out to members, asking if that triggers any more questions. So we'll be there till midnight. And then he answer back. Yeah, we're probably go with it.
Good evening. Welcome to the October 12th meeting of SEMBA, the Southeast Minnesota Beekeepers Association. I'm Brian R. Smith. I'm your Queen Bee. We've got a great session for us tonight. We've got a Graybee panel. These are our most experienced and have probably the most experiences beekeeping. And so one of the things growing up, I was that kid who always really enjoyed listening to my Auntie A tell her stories, my grandfather, Oliver Smith, Captain Oliver Smith, telling his stories about fishing on the Great Lakes. I really enjoyed these old stories. And it is my privilege.
Use the mic.
I'm trying to use the mic. Testing. 1, 2, 3. No.
Now it is.
A little bit better, but I'm not going to hold it up there. Is this better? Better, worse? Yep, let's do this. How about this? Nope. Is it better?
On the podium, Brian.
You're chaining me to the podium. Testing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, instead of yelling, I'll try talking with you. So, growing up, I really enjoyed talking to my relatives about the old days. And now they're all, these are all stories that I remember. And I tell my children these stories. Of course, they've heard them 50 times and they say, Dad, 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 why do we have to listen to this again? But these stories are really what make us great. And we're looking forward to this Graybee panel, something I've been working on for most of this year. And thank you all for coming for this. A few special announcements to get started with this. Special thanks to Chris Shad. This building that we're in here is owned by the world famous Mayo Clinic, and Chris Shad reserved this space, and thanks to the world famous Mayo Clinic for allowing us to be here in this auditorium. The second is thanks to Sister Marlis. You saw when you came in here, we're going to have, after our meeting is done, the Wago dance is done, we're going to have some refreshments, some drinks, some pop, and I call it soda where I came from, and cheese and crackers and some veggies and dip in the back there. So just for a little bit of socializing, which is always a lot of fun too. You notice over here we have Pat Brown. Pat, this is Wayne. Her husband is over there. Pat, who has filmed us before, she fell and broke her hip and her wrist. So please, thoughts and prayers to her. She's recovering now. After talking to Wayne, doing fairly well. They got the pin, the pipe in her, and so she's got more metal in her than probably most of us have in our entire bodies. But all the best to Pat, and so Wayne will be doing the video recording here. So to get this down on paper, this is a continuation of Patrick, who I don't think Patrick could make it here tonight, right?
He's not here.
He's not here. Yeah, this is a continuation of Patrick's goal as the SEMBA historian to really get down on paper some of our legacies, some of the things that we've done, videotape, and get some of these stories recorded so that we can have them preserved for 1,000 years to come. So thanks to Patrick for this also. Another is, does everybody like sauerkraut?
Yeah.
Recognize this guy? James, come on up here.
Why?
Tell us a little bit about your sauerkraut.
We make sauerkraut. I know it sounds pretty crazy, but I've always said there's two types of people, those that love sauerkraut and those that don't want it in their house. I hang out with a group that loves sauerkraut, and we've perfected a method, and I grow some of the most beautiful cabbage. One of those cleaned up at 28 pounds, I mean clean, ready to be cut. They're that big and that beautiful. We will make about 270 to 390 pounds of sauerkraut each year, and everybody ends up with a couple of cases and walks away happy. And it's a social group, but it combines my gardening and my love of fermentation and various other things. And it just so happened the latest person that joined the group, his wife was a reporter for the Post-Bulletin, and I knew we'd come back to haunt me. So, there you go.
You can keep this.
Well, thank you.
Just another little announcement, please. Our next meeting is going to be November 9th. It's our annual meeting. So we'll have a yearly recap, election of officers. I'm looking for nominations. And one of the things I would really love to see for president next year would be one of the newbies, right? Have somebody who, you don't have to know a lot of things about bees, because I don't, but to be a newbie and to say, here's the direction I want to take the club. So looking for nominations for all the different officers. Contact me. We'll vote on the updates for the bylaws. We'll have food and socializing, and we'll be here as guests of the Sisters of St. Francis at Assisi Heights. So thanks to them for always providing these kinds of facilities for us. Then, of course,
Hey, Brian.
yes, James.
At the next meeting, I will keep the tradition going, and we'll bring samples of all my beads. And if anybody else is making honey wines, that's an obvious opportunity to bring them along.
Yep.
Or to bring samples of their own honey. We'll have the tasting spoons and everything, so people can bring it and You can see what other people's honey tastes like.
Bring your honey byproducts to share. So with that, thank you very much, James. Let's bring up our Graybees. So Graybees, could you work your way up to the panel up here, to the chairs? We should have 6 of you Graybees. So the question is, if you have 6 bee experts, six beekeepers, and you ask them one question, how many answers are you going to get? 10 was the number that the math that I did in my head, 10 was the number that I came up with. And so we've got now 6 beekeepers working their way up here who have untold years combined. And boy, if we get only 10 answers for each question, we'll be doing good. But we're really looking forward to it. One of the things, I've got a list of questions, and I shared the whole idea with you, and we've got a list of questions that came not only from me, but from all of you. And I will ask those questions, but sometimes you ask a question that begets other questions. And so if you do have a question related to one that I just asked, raise your hand, yell it out to me. I'll repeat the question to make sure everybody has heard it, and then we'll get 10 answers for that question also. Also, too, after this, sure would love to get the Graybees up here for some photographs, and too with all the members here with some photographs, just to kind of memorialize this event, and again, thinking of it from a Patrick Urick's history point of view. So with that then, I was wondering if we could just test the mics. So
1, 2, 3. Hello. Can you hear me? No.
yeah, sort of. Hold on one second.
How do you turn them on? Okay, we need a technician.
Keep talking.
Hello. Is this one working? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Shirley?
How about this one?
No.
No? Yeah, I tried that.
It's just from ours.
Help.
Yeah?
Testing. Is that on?
No, it's on.
No. Yeah.
Hello, hello?
It's on, but it doesn't stand to be louder.
Is that one on?
It's on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 3 and 5. Try it again. Testing. Testing. Is it on?
That one's right.
Hello, you need to talk to us.
We've got some shaking back there.
That's way in the back. No, they can't hear way in the back.
Can you hear this? If you can hear it, raise your hand.
There you go.
Got to speak a little louder.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Thank you. I feel like a Verizon salesman.
And for your second song?
Yeah. For a waggle dance. So with this, let's just introduce our panel up here. A lot of them we know, but some we don't. And so if you just go from Jean, kind of working your way this way, and just introduce yourself, tell us your name, when did you start beekeeping, how many total years of beekeeping have you done, maximum number of hives, and then how many times you've been stung.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. My name's Gene Trader, and I started beekeeping in the mid-'80s. And I had up to 45 hives was the most. And I'm back down to 6. And as far as the number of times stung, I wouldn't want to begin to. I can remember some days about 15 times, all in a short period. I don't react to it. It just stays for a half a minute and keep going. So it doesn't bother me.
Ed Simon, and I've been, I think about 2003 or 2004, I started beekeeping. The first year I counted the number of stings that I got was 110. Last Tuesday it was 6. Okay? There was some mean bees out there. Okay. By the way, I do have a book for sale, okay, which is sold locally here. And I also have some articles published in Bee Culture magazine. What? No commercials. No.